What is going on, guys? It's your boy, LOZA. Today we're looking at Alex Buckley's Dark Magician deck profile. So he sent this in and he's made this specifically for us. I'm really keen to watch it. I think there might be a bit of banter. I watched like 10 seconds of it on my phone. So I'm just going to hit play, and this is my first time watching it too, so I'm really keen. Looking at the deck list, what is this? Is that Watch Dog or Watch Cat or some shit? I don't know. But I'm keen to see the spice.
All right, Loza, it's your boy Alec here. You and I have corresponded in the comments.
I'm just gonna. Is he loud enough? I just want to make sure he's loud enough.
I've been hearing some of the stuff you've been saying about Dark Magician. Talking out here like you're the greatest Dark Magician player
It's
of all
true.
time. But
I do
I
talk
have
like
been
that.
running this deck since Egyptian times with Pharaoh Atem. My ethos is clearly the most powerful. I once had 2 YouTube videos of a deck profile back in 2016 when it was
2016. That's like 3 navigation times.
running the Wind Witch engine.
Oh
The
yeah,
Dark
oh yeah,
Magician
oh yeah. That I used to follow that Daniel guy. I forget his last name now, and he used to do all that Winwich shit, and it was pretty good.
that I promptly deleted 5 minutes later. So clearly, I have a large following, and I'm coming out of retirement just for you. So you know what? You're welcome.
Thank
Okay.
you, King.
Here are the
Thank
rules
you.
for Dark Magician decks. First off, you always got to have ones with different artworks, and you always got to have at least 3. However,
I agree that you can play different artworks, but you picked 2 shit ones. Sorry. Look, Dark Side of the Dimension is a cool movie, and the Dark Magician from it's cool, but there's so many better artworks for Dark Magician, I feel. I do like the I think it's the structure deck Yugi 2 one, the next one where he's folded arms posing. I like that one, but I hate that his skin's like green in it. It's really weird, but I know a lot of people like that because it's like the OG Dark Magician from the Bandai art or something. Sorry, my headphones are really uncomfortable today. Okay, that feels a bit better. But like this looks good, to be honest. Like my first glance, I'm seeing the Sky Striker stuff, which I love. I'm seeing the refs, which I love at 3. The skill drain, Circle and Eternal Soul at 2, that's great. Salvation at 1, amazing. Power traps, beautiful. Like man, you can roast me as much as you want. This list looks pretty fucking nice.
in today's day and age, there's only like 5 Dark Magician cards left on the planet, so I can't really afford to have 3 of them. Way too expensive. That's why I'm only running 2 Dark Magicians
Oh,
in
that's
my
fair.
deck.
Yeah, cards
I
expensive.
don't have Pharaoh Atem's ability to just draw Dark Magician whenever I need it, so hopefully I'll see him enough in the deck.
Just gonna turn him
Dark
up so you
Magician
can hear this
Girl,
goodness.
main beat stick card of the deck. Summon her all the time, attack for game, easy money.
Yeah, she's
Oh, and then there's
huge.
Brick City
26
Red
attack.
Eyes. Anyway, now to the good stuff. Magician Souls. Pitch Dark Magician Girl, summon. Easy way to ditch your extra Red Eyes fusions and other
Yep.
spell trap cards you don't need to draw extra cards. Please, by all means, ash this card so I can summon Verte Anaconda and summon Dragoon.
I'm,
Make you look
I'm,
silly.
I'm,
Rod,
I
perfect.
mean, they can't Ash Verte, but I see what you're saying. Like, you want them to hand trap Soul's Effect, and I try to do that too, just to see if they have an Imperm or Veiler. It sucks when they gamma you. Then you're like, It doesn't happen that much, because obviously Imperm and Veiler are a lot more common. But boy, have I been gammed at that part, and I'm just like, well, guess I go neg 2 or 3. Great.
Normal summon for the deck. 90% of the time you're getting Soul Servant with this card, but hey, you get some of the other cards
Man
too.
knows his shit.
Mostly Protopant, Verte Anaconda fodder.
Mm-hmm.
Love this card. Gets to your important spell and trap cards. Apprentice Illusion Magician. I've often run her at 2 just because I hate Access Code Talker, and that's why I still have her at 1. If I
Yeah,
have
that's
full
fair.
combo, I can get Soul Servant.
Like, I've always said you can play this card at, like, any ratio. Like, no ratio of it is bad, and no ratio of it is, like, mandatory. So it's like, Apprentice is just, like, it was a great card on release, and it's still decent today. And I am going to be playing at least one when we get Illusion of Chaos, just because we can search it. And yeah, that protection from access code, no one thinks about. Like, nobody. All salad players and, like, I don't know, even try players, they're just going to make access code and just try to fucking slap your Dragoon. And as long as your Dragoon's got that 1 negate, you're
Use
good.
that to draw her.
You drop an
Just that
apprentice for
way,
2k in the
your
damage step. Make sure you wait for
Dragoon
damage
can
step.
be protected against being beaten over. Um,
What is this? Watch Cat. If you control no monsters, special summon this card from your hand. Man's just extending. Man is extending. During the end phase, if this card was special summon this turn, you can... Yo! During your end phase, if this card was special summon this turn, you can banish this card, set one continuous spell direct... Oh. I nearly thought this was kind of broke. I thought it activated it, and I was like, bruh? We get Circle for free? During the end phase, if this card was special summon this turn. Shit, that's actually kind of spicy. Like, if it activated, I would actually be playing this. But I guess a lot of other decks would too. But hey, that's surprisingly good. Because I've read Watchdog, and that card sucks, but Watch Cat seems a little better.
Watch Cat. I run this card honestly because I like cats. And because it's a free special summon. And because it can summon Link
Like, people play Jester Comfort, so like, you can't hate this man for playing the cat.
But mostly because if I send it to the graveyard, I can set one of these bricks from my deck. Now you might be thinking, Alec, you can't activate Circle until the next turn if you set it during your end phase. And that's when I respond, I don't care. If I happen to respond, if I happen to survive past turn 1, I just don't want to draw this card on turn 2.
What the fuck? This man read my mind.
And that's why I enjoy setting it to the field. If it survives, great. But honestly, it's a brick, and I hate drawing.
Yes,
the only time
king.
It's useful is in your
yes.
when you have all your combo pieces.
I thought you'd be roasting me more, but you're kind of just agreeing with a lot of what I like. And like, I do think the Circle Eternal Soul Banish is nice. It is. But in today's meta, like, bro, getting 3 cards together just for one banish, like, just play Ice Dragon's Prison with Trap Trick. I've said it before, but like, I do like that. Like, it's super weird and niche, but like, as you said, if it gets like MST'd or whatever, who the fuck cares? Like, and like, yeah, it's one circle out of your deck, and it means you've got guaranteed banish next turn. It's not terrible. Like, if people roast you in the comments, I'll be mad. Like, the amount of shit we see in people's deck lists, this is actually like fine because it's an extender. Like, before anything else, you're probably doing it for a fucking meme, which makes it even better. And it's an extender, so like you have to summon it first, so it's not necessarily an extender. It's a starter kind of. It's just like a junk forward essentially. And I like that. You just special it, and it gives you a way to make Anaconda. It's like a Jester Confit with an extra effect. So all the people who are playing Jester Confit are kind of dumb for not playing this instead. And I know Jester Confit can special itself whenever it doesn't need no monsters on the field, but it does fucking nothing. So at least this card does something. I dig it. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That's fucking cool.
We'll get to that card later. Anyway. Oh yeah, the 1-card Dragoon package. You know, purists out there, you probably hate me, but I like sending Dragoon because I like winning, so sorry.
King!
Terraforming, I like running 39 cards in a deck. Instant fusion, okay, I'm actually kind of...
Oh, I didn't see the terraforming. This is probably the biggest thing I disagree with, just because, like, the field spell in this deck is so subpar. And I don't think you need terraforming to get it. But I do prefer terraforming and salvation to 2 salvation. So I'll give you that. That's fine.
I'm proud of this tech.
Oh yeah, Millennium Eyes.
Millennium Eyes restrict. You know, if you have full combo, if you have Rod and Souls together, and then you have instant fusion,
you can't get hand trapped.
This card can protect your Protoplant Verte Anaconda from being ashed, which is great. Or if you just have one of the Sky Striker cards and instant fusion, it's another easy way to protect your
absolutely. I'll give you an even better one. Like, this is gonna blow your fucking mind. It doesn't play around Gamma. It's not as crazy as Millennium Eyes, I guess, but it's one that I use when I play Super Poly. I learned it in Grand Marju. It's a super niche thing, but I'm going to tell everyone here because I think it's really cool. Muddy Mud Dragon. No one fucking read... Oh, no, sorry. It's just Mud Dragon, isn't it? I think it's just Mud Dragon. I better Google it real quick. Because Muddy Mud Dragon's the Synchro, isn't it? Yeah, sorry. Mud Dragon of the Swamp. Just pure Mud Dragon. Read this motherfucker's effect. Your opponent cannot target this card or monsters on the field with the same attribute as this card with card effects. Once per turn, quick effect, declare an attribute. This card becomes the attribute this card becomes that attribute till the end of the turn. So the crazy fucking thing about this is if you have Anaconda out, before you use the effect, or actually in Dark Magician all your cards are dark. In Grand Magi you waited till the Anaconda, sorry, it was a different card in Grand Magi, it was the Numeron Dragon stuff, but it's the same principle. So anyway, in this deck, what you would do is, before you normal your rod, before you activate your souls, you would go instant fusion, summoning Mud Dragon. Next thing you're going to do, Mud Dragon effect activating, declaring dark. That makes everything on the field dark. And it's a water at the time, right? It's a water at the time, and its second effect says you can declare, your opponent cannot target this card or monsters on the field with the same attribute as this card with card effects. So that effect is always applying. It's a lingering effect. I think that's what it's called. It's just a continuous effect that's always in motion. So they cannot imperm this or Veiler this because they both target, and this card cannot be targeted. So if that effect resolves, so basically if you don't get Gammed here, you now cannot be targeted on your Rod or Souls or Anaconda because they're all dark. So Mud Dragon of the Swamp is a level 4, so you can summon it off the instant fusion. And it means, I don't know if instant fusion, oh no, that's stupid. It essentially just means if you're playing Super Poly in the deck as well, which isn't good right now, like don't play it right now, but when there's like a heavy dark meta, like another Orcus meta, or like a tier 0 meta, like, I don't know, the tier 0 deck might be Dragon Link, for example. Yeah, you could play Super Poly in the main deck, right? Or the side deck and have targets for it. And Mud Dragon's a good target to have for Super Poly stuff. But it also doubles up as an amazing instant fusion, kind of Millenniumized pseudo monster, which obviously then you don't have to run Millenniumize. And so, yeah, sorry, back to Mud Dragon. So you've got Mud Dragon out. Your opponent now cannot target any of your darks when their effects are going off. So the only way your Anaconda wouldn't get you Dragoon in that scenario is Gamma, I believe. I believe Gamma is the only thing because Gamma doesn't target. But anyway, I like the tech. Millenniumize is great. I just thought I'd add the Mud Dragon thing in because I know some people like Super Poly, and that's fine. It's an amazing card, but it kind of needs to be played in the right format, if that makes sense. Like when Thunder Dragons were strong, it was great to use against them. Obviously, that was around Orcus time, so once again, you just flogged it out against Orcus. But yeah, if we ever do play Super Poly again, keep that in mind.
Ash. I used to run, I forget what the card was, the Sky Striker card that protects your extra deck monster.
Oh, Eagle Booster.
From being affected
Eagle
by
Booster.
your opponent's
I
card.
thought he was about to say he used to play Mud Dragon. I was going to be like, oh, I just ranted for like 10 minutes for no reason.
But it's kind of bricky, so I went for this instead.
Yeah,
it's also a free monster,
I
so
kind of
easy.
agree with that. Like, Eagle Boost is nice, but just engaging drones is better, in my opinion. But by all means, feel free to play Eagle Booster if you guys want it. Wait, I just noticed you're not playing Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is kind of better than Instant Fusion, only because Instant Fusion plays around more with the Millenniumize, and it's an extender, you could say. So that's really good, but I really like Called by because Called by and Red Eyes Fusion is just like a win, essentially. It's not necessarily a win, but like you put yourself in just such a good spot that your opponent cries, basically. But yeah.
To get 2 monsters to get to Dragoon. Anyway.
But yeah, it can help you get to Anaconda.
Red Eyes Fusion. Yeah, you know, it's a mega brick, really bad card. I should only run 1, but I got to 38 cards, and I was like, hey, you know, I really don't have any other cards I can run in this deck. I mean, because the rest of the cards are so perfect. So you know what? I guess I'll just run 3 and be bricky and, you know, fail at this card. Definitely
don't argue with
replace
that.
One of these with a Dark Magician and one of these with, you know, a destroying the darkness, whatever that card is. Anyway.
Oh, this man gets me so
Fusion,
well.
y'all know what it does. Summons a second Dragoon on turn 2. Soul Servant, draw 2 cards. Love it. Makes Dark Magical Circle useful, like 1 out of
Dark Magician Engage, I would call it.
This card. Yeah, the neg 1 card. You know, you have 9 targets in the deck. One of them's already the other circle if you activate it.
Yep.
You're never adding off of this card. Just let it go.
Legit. Unless you're playing Duel Links.
Play 1, but before the new support comes out, you kind of need this card and Eternal Soul because they're the only 2 Dark Magicians spell and traps.
I like 2. 2's fine. One or two of these cards is like absolutely fine. I just think 3 sucks. 3's so bad.
Until the new support comes out, I can't really play Combination or Dark Burning Magic or try to replace this with anything else. So we're running Circle and we're running it at 2. Yeah,
that's fine.
I mean, you really. You really want to see this card and Eternal Soul somehow in your first hand if you need to do it
You
with
kind of
Soul
do,
Servant
but
or Rod or something.
yeah, you
So
need the
that's
other
why
things. You need
I
the
run
Dark
this at
Magician.
2, and I'm running Eternal Soul at 2. I can't wait until I can run those at 1 though. Magician Salvation, great card, love it. Easy +1 when you get souls with it, and it
Like my
sets
smooth
Eternal
look.
Soul directly from the deck, which
Oh
is
yeah.
honestly one of the best Dark Magician cards out there. It's aged beautifully. I think I liked Navigation a lot more than I liked this card back in the day, but
Not wrong.
as time has gone on, it's still really good. I wish I could summon Dark Magician the Dragon Knight more often to protect it.
Not wrong.
Um,
It's funny because, as you said, Navi was so good. And if you look at Duel Links, like the meta, Navigation and Rod are both at 3 on Duel Links. And if you know how Duel Links ban list works, being at 3 means you can only play, like, 3 of any of the cards that are at 3. Sorry, that took a while to think about. So Rod's at 3 and Navi's at 3. So my ratio is like 1 Rod and 2 Navi because you're not allowed to play more than that, if that makes sense. So you could also play like 2 Rod, 1 Navi, or 3 Navi, no Rod. But I just go 1 Rod, 2 Navi, I'm pretty sure. And like, it's so bad. The deck used to be so broken though, so I get it. I get it. Circle in Duel Links, you resolve it all the time, and you just grab cards. There's no Eternal Soul in Duel Links yet, and that'll probably be what brings Dark Magician back. I don't know if they'll get it anytime soon though. But yeah, man, I just love that Alex is really take. Sorry, is that right? Yeah, no. Alec, is it Alec or Alex? I don't know. I'm probably butchering it anyway. But it's cool that he's just got a lot of my deck ideas in here, and he's like having fun with it. He's having a bit of a roast. I love to see it. It's all good banter. And yeah, sorry, back to Eternal Soul. I just went on a fucking rant again. Eternal Soul is great because it's just like a continuous Dark Magician summon, but somehow it's aged better than half the other cards while still being kind of crap. It's so weird. And yeah, this card was made with a big flaw, and that flaw was fixed by a fusion monster we struggle to summon. Imagine, honestly, if Anaconda could turbo Dragoon, turbo Dark Magician the Dragonite the way it turbos Dragoon, we might not care about Dragoon so much. And we might be fine with Dragoon leaving the format if it got banned or something, or if Anaconda left. I mean, then we need a new way to make the Dragonite. But the point remains, if we just had a way to turbo Dark Magician the Dragonite, this deck would be a lot better. And it's weird that we still don't have a way to do it. Like, Keeper was meant to be that, I feel, but it just fucking failed. It's a piece of shit. And what's interesting is no one's really found a combo or, like, pathway to making Dark Magician the Dragonite consistently turn 1 without, like, using 4 cards in your hand or some stupid shit. And at that point, like, what are you protecting? You don't have the Backrow to protect. You used all your cards getting to Dark Magician the Dragonite. And that's what I found when I tried to make turbo builds for Dark Magician the Dragonite. So it's just a massive flaw in Konami's design. But I mean, they've never wanted this deck to be that good, so I get it. But I do really hope we get a fusion spell that's just better to help turbo the Dragonite. Because that is essentially what we want to play in Dark Magician. We do want to play control, and we want to protect our back row with the knight. And to be honest, in the games where I did summon it at locals, like the few times I managed to, people can still out your back row. People can still use shit like evenly matched. People can, I'm pretty sure, let me just check Dark Magician the Dragon Knight real quick. But I know for sure that people at locals use like Nightmare Unicorn against me. Wait, no. That prevents target. Dark Magician Knight prevents targeting. How did my back row get outed? I cannot remember. So your opponent cannot target spell traps you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. What happened? Something happened and I was like, this doesn't protect you from everything. I'm trying to remember what. There are certain cards that just don't target and can remove. Like, yeah, no, evenly matched is really good. That's right. I got evenly matched. That was it. I got evenly matched a lot when I did make the turbo build for this. And it was so fucking sad. And I also barely ever turboed it out. So it was not only like a very inconsistent build, but I just felt like the games where I did pop off and I got like the knight and like 2 set cards and I was like, oh, this is so good. And circle up or something and then like evenly match. And I'm like, well, I need all of these cards because it's Dark Magician. You need Selkie, you need the Soul, you need DM Engrave, the Knight on Field. So I think that's just another flaw that is Dark Magician, where the deck is kind of like the power of friendship and it relies on all the cards. And that's okay, but maybe one day we'll get a way to summon that
Was
guy
running one of these and
a
one
little better.
secrets, but honestly, LOZA, I hate to admit it, but secrets sucks. I just hate it. It never works. Even the few times that it got the bricks out of your hand, to summon, like, say, the Dark Magicians, I was just better off having Eternal Soul in there anyway to summon Dark Magician and maybe have Circle with it. So,
Facts.
um,
Facts.
until we get the Ritual Magician of Chaos or whatever it's called is Illusion of Chaos, sorry, out in the TCG, I'm not running Secrets. I'm running 2 Eternal Soul. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anyway, Skill Drain because it's a Dark Magician deck and it wins you games.
Yeah, baby.
I run these 2 cards because I like blowing up my opponent's stuff.
Yeah, that's
I run
fair.
Solemn Judgment because I like saying no. And I like Solemn Strike because I think it's the best trap card in the game. Y'all know what it does.
Yeah, man. Solemn Strike
Anyway,
with
extra
Torrential
deck,
is
2
just like
Dragoon.
GG.
Run 2.
Even going
Goodness
second.
gracious.
That's the thing. Like people like traps about going second, and like to some degree, yeah. But if you have Strike and Torrential and you're going second, and you set those two, and they your opponent lets the turn pass, you have the entire board clear. They can chain any negate they like, unless it's a counter trap or red reboot. Like you're golden, baby.
I only run this guy because if I'm playing against Dogmatika and I get
Hmm.
forced to pitch it to the graveyard, it's kind of nice because I get a
Yeah,
Soul
it is.
Servant target. Yeah. Also, I don't run Dogmatika, and I'm going to be honest about this. It's not because I don't think it's good. It's just because I'm not good at using it yet. I hate admitting it, but like
That's
I
okay.
just I miss timing. I don't know. I end up activating the wrong thing at the wrong time.
I played I tried the Dogmatica stuff ages ago, and I thought it was shit. And I've obviously come back to it now, and I've kind of learnt how the engine works a little more. It seemed really linear, but there is little intricacies to it. And now I'm like, okay, this shit's insane. Nadir is just a broken card. But I can understand not playing it because you don't really get it yet. And there are a lot of people like in the Discord and Facebook group who are just like, I don't get the appeal of like the Dogmatica. People say there's synergies, but like they're just both spellcasters. And I'm like, well, it goes beyond that, but but sure. Uh, but yeah, it's Dogmatic is the best engine to play because it gives us stuff to do when Anaconda gets negated. Like if you get Anaconda negated and you have Nadir, you're just like, oh well, guess I'll play Nadir, send you can send either the Titanic Ash Dragon, or you can send like Wind Pegasus, or you can send like Elder Entity if there's a card to pop, which assuming you're playing first, there's not. But basically, off just Nadir, you should be able to get Ecclesia Summon, Ecclesia get Punishment, and then Ash Dragon Search in the end phase to get Fleur. And like that's kind of insane considering like you've used 2 cards in your hand to get to Anaconda, and that's gone terribly. But now Nadir's just free to go off, unless they have the Ghost Bell, of course, in which then you fucking cry. Uh, but yeah, Nadir playing from second is also insane. Let's look at that scenario playing second. You get 2 monsters out, you make your Anaconda, and you try to use it. If they negate your Anaconda at this point, well, okay. It's Nadir time once again, this time sending the old entity Natis. But also, it depends on how the interactions go down. Like, if Anaconda got negated but it didn't get destroyed, you can summon Fleur de Lis for free, and that's really good. So you normally want to go from that point. Remember, Nadir Servant is always 5k damage if you're playing second, because that's a really good number to remember. And Anaconda's 500, so that's 5-5. So if you have a way to summon Dark Magician, you actually have game on an empty board. Just little random numbers to remember. I'm just spouting out things as they come to my head, but these are like random Dark Magician and Nadir facts that I know, or Dogmatica facts, I should say. So like, yeah, you can obviously Anaconda's negated, but then you can go for Nadir, Ecclesia summon and search Fleur, summon Fleur, and you can obviously send the Natis with the Nadir before that, sorry, and get a pop, which is always nice. You can force a response of something, or just get rid of a card that's a threat, or a back row that's annoying. And then yeah, you've got a bunch of big boys on the field. You swing with Fleur, she goes to 3k, and Ecclesia goes to 2k, so that's 5k obviously, and that is just kind of nuts. Some people don't really like it, and that's fine. But you can also play the Schism stuff. If you don't know what the Schism stuff is with Nadir, it's just playing Shadow Alkaline. I don't know how the fuck to say it, to be honest. But it's one of the fusions that says when it's sent to the grave, you can add a Shadow card from deck to hand, I'm pretty sure. And then you have to discard one. So that's the shit part. But you can discard the Schism if you really want to. But normally you're going to send that Alkaline off Nadir, get Ecclesia. Alkaline effect's going to go off. That's going to grab you Schism, and then you just got to discard a random card from your hand. Or not random, but, you know, anything that you don't want. Maybe Dark Magician Girl if she's hiding in there. And then from there, obviously, you can set your Schism, and on your opponent's turn, all you need to do is fuse that Alkaline that's in your grave with any of your Dark monsters that should be there in Dark Magician. Like we have Souls, we have Rod. You probably don't want to fuse with Rod, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you'll have a Dark. And if you do have to use Rod, you make that decision, like, if it's worth it. Like, you're summoning Window with the Schism, obviously. So in that scenario, if you open Anaconda and Nadir, if Anaconda resolves and you get the Dragoon, and then you then play Nadir, you can just get Schism. Like, obviously you can't summon Ecclesia, but you can get Schism because you still got the Alkaline Send. And I think that's really important to remember. So opening Nadir and away to Dragoon, if you're playing Schism, is a Dragoon Window, which auto wins a lot of games. A Floodgate monster and an Omni Negate. If your opponents open Droplets or Dark Ruler, sure, they've opened Droplets or Dark Ruler. Other than that, you're having a pretty good time, and they've got to play around that, plus any back row you might have. Remember, Dragoon stuff is normally only 2 cards. Nadir is 1 card, so you might have an Ash or something in your hand as well, or just something free to discard for Dragoon. So yeah, I just think Nadir helps the deck in a lot of ways, and obviously, if you open Rod, you can normal summon Rod, link it away for Artemis after searching, and then like if you've opened Ecclesia or Nadir from there, you can just go Nadir and do Ecclesia, do Dogmatika stuff, or you can not use the effect of Ecclesia and use Artemis, and Ecclesia to go into Anaconda. That's a decision you need to make in the moment, because some people are like, oh, but Dogmatika and like summoning Dragoon clash, and it's like, well, yeah, they do, but you need to like make the decision which is more important for the deck you're versing, or depending on your hand. You'll see in some of my replays, like, I think my hand is strong enough to survive a turn, so I just like go for the Nadir Servant play, because I'm comfy with just getting Fleur and Punishment with the 2 hand traps that are in my hand or something, and then when the turn comes back to me, I'll play my Ref that next turn. That's the other thing. Having a Ref and Nadir together is really good, because Nadir obviously can be Ghost Spelled, but it's more likely to be Ashed, just because people play Ash more than Ghost Spell, I want to say. So it's a great bait for Ash, because everyone knows Nadir is like an insane card that makes you go like +3. Like, that's what people say. Like, it's pretty much a +2 to 3. It's a really good card. But yeah, anyhow, if you don't know how to use the Dogma engine, I'm gonna make a video on it soon, so stick around for that. I've been saying this for so long, but like, I don't know, I always just forget, or just like, I don't know, don't care enough. I will make one eventually. Anyway, let's keep going through this.
And then I don't know. I just kind of prefer. It doesn't end up doing a lot of the things that I wanted to at the time. I don't know. These are a lot of excuses. I just like running a bunch of trap cards instead.
That's fine too. Run a bunch of traps.
It's just kind of how I've constructed it, and I'm not really bricking with them too much. But in my mind, Dogmatika should be more statistically consistent, and I'm gonna keep play testing and more than likely work those in here.
The only reason Dogmatika would be like more consistent is because Nadir is just a fucking card. And like, when I play the deck and I have 3 Ref and 3 Nadir, I feel safe, because I'm like, oh, even if I get in like a shit scenario, I could top deck Ref or Nadir, and that could like sway the game. And that's the thing. They're 1 card engines, or just 1 card starters, if you want to call them that just get shit going. Like, Ref gets you fucking Dragoon, which gets you 2 pops and a negate and a lot of damage. Nadir gets you all that shit I talked about just before. It gets you so many cards. So, like, they're power cards that either force a response from the opponent or get you back in the game, or just into the game if you're going first. Help you set up, like, some sort of disruption. So that's why I like to max out on those things. And yeah, why I do like that a lot of people are coming around to playing 3 Ref as well. And even though they're like, oh yeah, I know it clashes with Dogma, but like, they're good cards. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, if you see both of them, you shouldn't be going, oh no, I have to pick. You should be going, fuck yeah, like, I have two amazing cards in my hand. And then you assess the situation from there. And yeah, look, sometimes you fucking play the Nadir and they go Ghost Spell and you're like, shit. And you play the Ref and they got Ash. Like, sometimes they're going to have the answers. And look, it's like a 33% chance for them to open Nadir. Sorry. Well, yeah, that's true too. It's a 33% chance for you to open any of your Nadir or any of your Ref. Same chance for them to open if they're playing 3 Ash and 3 Ghosts. So you just got to take the risk sometimes, boys, and say, hey, if they have the answer, they have the answer. You can't play every game in fear of getting hand trapped, is what I'm trying to say. You can try to play around stuff, but like when it comes to Ref, unless you got called by or cross-out designator, like, mans, you just gotta play it. Depends on your hand too. If your hand has like Rod Souls, well, you obviously don't have to go the Ref route. You could summon Souls, send a Ref, get a draw, see if the opponent's gonna hand trap you. No, cool, summon Rod, do some more stuff, go on Anaconda, blah blah blah. You get the idea.
You know, sorry guys, I just love cats, man. What can I say? You know?
Dude, I like the watch cat. It's funny.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so you know, certain targets. This guy will probably be more useful if I run Dogmatika one of these days. We've already talked about this guy.
I like that too. That
again,
the Knight is kind of good.
I have
in
an extra
Dogmatika.
slot, so Ebon Illusion Magician isn't a bad card to run.
Ebon's fine. I probably would have played
code,
Access.
so I'm not going to pretend to run it. You know,
you
have it in here and run it.
No, I get that. I don't own it either. I'm just saying, like, on paper, it's a better card. I would play it if I owned it. I don't. I don't even own the Striker shit. Yeah, man. I need to. Or the Dogmatika stuff. I own like 2 Dogmatika cards. Oh, 3 Punishment and Fleur. But I need to get into Deers and shit. But yeah, most of my shit I borrow from locals people for tournaments, or I play online, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's top secret LOZA shit. Ooh.
So I run this guy instead.
This is already 30 minutes. I'm so sorry.
He's actually a tough out, kind of.
This card is good.
If you get him up to 45. And
I like this card.
Send a Dark Magician to summon
it
him.
auto wins against certain decks.
Annoying out, so sometimes you summon him.
Sometimes I don't play it just because I don't have room, but if I have room, I normally try to slip him in.
Code's probably better, but you know, I run Celine, obviously, like bringing back your Dragoon.
Yep, Celine's cool. 2 Verte.
Oh my gosh, guys! People who don't run 2 Verte, you know, that's annoying. But people who don't run this card, when literally sometimes you just open Rod and you have nothing else to do.
Yes.
This is especially when I think Dogmatika would be helpful.
Thank you.
Just
some people are still like, it's just a personal preference. I don't want to play Artemis because I just don't see the value. And I'm like, bitch, have you read Rod's effect? Like, are you fucking dense? I refuse to talk to people about Artemis anymore. I'm just like, you play it and you know, or like you're a dummy. And like, I can't be bothered convincing people anymore. They think I'm crazy for being like, this card's amazing, because they're like, it has no effect. I don't understand its use in the deck because I can't fucking read.
Summon Artemis. And get your Rod back next turn. It goes into your other plays.
He's speaking a true.
Anyway, I'll probably post another deck profile with Dogmatika in this, but...
You know, I would love that. Please do.
Anyway, you have to run Artemis. It's a necessary card.
It is, especially in the Dogma version.
Summon Rod, get Soul Servant, stack your souls, and then link away for Artemis, so that next turn you automatically get the cards you want.
I will just interrupt there, because that's right, but you want to set the Soul Servant. I'm sure that's what you meant. But yeah, you want to make Artemis after searching Soul Servant, and then you just want to set it, because then on the opponent's turn at any point, even when they declare an attack on Artemis, you can flip the Soul Servant, stacking souls, or stacking whatever you need. It's normally souls though, so you're right, Magician Souls is normally a stack. And then Rod effect will trigger Engrave because it's a trigger effect. So even though they're attacking you, it doesn't fucking matter. Rod will trigger, you will tribute Artemis for cost. They may hand trap you, but it's pretty unlikely. And then you get Rod back to hand, and they get to redeclare. The reason why you wait for battle phase is while Soul Servant's set on the field, they might get scared of it. They might try pop it with like MST or Twins or like Lightning Storm. And honestly, you want that. You want them to like play removal cards while you have a card that's so flexible and you can flip it at any time. I think of it in Marjo, I used to play Threatening Roar, and like I used to leave that there until they said battle phase, because you never have to flip it, right? Like, unless it's targeted or like threatened by something. So I really like cards like that because they put pressure on your opponent to think about what it might be, and it's nothing. It's fucking like it's gonna stack your deck this turn. But it's really good because you can flip it at any time. So even if your opponent does nothing and says, "Oh, end phase," like I pass, like they brick, and you're like, "Shit." Like if you just set normal, imagine you just set the Solemn cards and like a Torrential with your Artemis, and that's it. Like you didn't search Soul Servant. I don't know. You searched Eternal Soul. I don't know. I'm just saying. Or let's say in your scenario where you search Rod and you activate Soul Servant, stack souls. Cool. Link Rod into Artemis and set 4. Or, yeah, set 4. No, set 3? Yeah, 3. Set 3 and pass. Comes back to you because in their end phase, you're like, shit, I can't activate any of my traps. Like, they didn't do anything. I can't tribute Artemis for Rod. So that's what I like about setting Soul Servant. Now, obviously, setting Soul Servant means there's a chance it gets like banished by like Cosmic Cyclone or something, or like shuffled by like Nightmare Unicorn. Actually, I think if you flip a card, if you flip a card when that Nightmare Unicorn's targeting, it goes to the grave. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to check, but I'm like 99% sure. But yeah, I do like what you're saying. Rod Artem is good. Always has
run
been.
This card for goodness sake. I like summoning Dragoon for free, so I run Sky Striker Engine.
Exactly
Link
right.
Spider, because it essentially there are multiple combos that need this card to summon Verte Anaconda.
See, people are like, oh yeah, you play it for the striker stuff. Yeah, but you also play it because it's really good. He said it, the Verte Anaconda stuff.
Some of you want to summon Dragoon, the more honest way, but this is until they ban this busted piece of trash.
Yep.
I'm gonna run it at 2 and try and
baby,
as fast as possible. This guy sometimes you can use Magical Eyes Fusion to summon Dragoon with him, and he also there's a combo just with Eternal Soul that summons him and leads to Anaconda, so I do it, and then Link Karibo because I run Watch Cat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really excited about running Watch Cat.
You can play Relinquish Anima, which is probably way better. I mean, this is better for going first. Anima's better for going second, so you can make that decision. But it does also mean Souls can be Anima, and Anima can force on a disruption if your opponent doesn't play the zones right. But, good players probably will. But it's just a niche little thing. But Link Karibo is okay. It's a good defensive card anyway. I'm going to try wrap this up soon. You're going to talk about the side.
As much as
I see Dog Magic Tome. That's all I care about, to be honest. Dog Magic Tome's in there. Where is it? You're going to talk about?
All right, side deck.
Are you going to go
hand trap,
backwards?
Bird, probably not going to be.
The side looks fine, so I'm going to skip over it just because it's fine. I like it. It's good.
Face down and
does its job.
Give him a big smile and walk off.
Yeah, baby. Wait, I got to hear you talk about Tome for the full time.
Graveyard with Soul Servant. Late starts to the ultimate troll victory in game 3 after you win game 1, and they took 25 minutes to do their full combo.
Someone needs to do this.
You wait, start the duel with like.
I'll try, but you got to try too.
Lay this card face down and send it to the grave.
You need to top your locals by doing this shit to someone. I want to fucking see it.
With Soul Servant, and then you win match 3 and give them a big smile and walk off. I don't know, pretty hilarious. Anyway,
I love it. I want to do it.
To win.
I want to do it.
I slide that card in. Anyway, it's my Dark Magician deck profile. LOZA.
Thank you, Alex. That was freaking epic. I loved it, and I hope you enjoyed too. Catches.